So welcome back to day number 2 of me working on my junk and recording it for people. So this is my blazer, it's LS swapped. Watch the first video if you want a little more details on it. But today I'm going to be putting in a factory style dipstick tube. Before I had a flexible one on it, and well, it did the job, but with my new oil pan modifications, it's just not going to work anymore. So where the dipstick tube goes in, it'll put the actual, the measuring stick part of it in front of the sump. So if I use a factory one with the rigid, flat band metal one, it'll work. It'll go right into the sump, right at the front of the sump. That way I can actually get a proper reading. So I'm going to be going through and putting this in. And I also have a transmission dipstick too. I modified it slightly, welding it and bending it just to get the fit a little better. But now I'm running into an issue where the dipstick tube actually does not go all the way down into the pan. It's hitting the snot inside the pan prematurely. So either I can shorten this, or take the pan off and take the stop out of it and just remark the stick. I don't know what I'm going to do yet with that, but I'll find out later today. So I'm down underneath right now in my wheel well, and it might be a little bit hard for you to see this, but this is where the dipstick tube has to go. It would have been easier if I did it without the manifolds on. Yeah, that hole right there, that is where the dipstick tube has to go. Alright, so finally back after 2 hours of trying stuff with this dipstick tube to get to work properly, I finally got a solution. So I broke a couple dipstick tubes trying to do it because they just kept getting hung up. But the issue is with my sump is I made it too close to the hole. Here, let me show you on this engine I got over here. This is a 4.8. We're going to drop in a BMW. My sump, so this is where the dipstick goes in. My sump is right underneath it, maybe right here. So what was happening is with the factory dipstick tube, not modified, it was pushing it over on top of my tray here. So what I did was we cut the end of it off. And now it just seems to go perfectly where it wants. Right into the bottom of the sump. I tried doing this, making a little spoon on the end of the tube to push it. That didn't work. That got my sticks hung up in there, and I broke the handles off of them. So that was quite amazing. And then I had the other issue of, if I can find it, I forget where I said it. Yeah, I'm not the cleanest work part out of the video. Alright, okay, I found it. We tried twisting the tube. Tried twisting this to try and get it to better allow it to come out on that spoon I modified, and that got hung up and just broke. So that was a no-go, that did not work. So, got it all works now great. I heated this up and bent it a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is wire wheel the rough spots on this and give it a blast of some VHT header paint. Alright, I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so I've gotten it painted. Nice matte black finish with some header paint because it's right next to the manifolds. They usually rust out. That's why I could get this for $8. It's a GM flaw. Gone and got a dipstick that works now in the tube. It's a bit stiff putting it in, but my dad's 6-liter one fit in there perfectly and slid perfectly in and out. So if this keeps acting up, maybe I'll just grab another one. I'm at the junkyard. I'm going to have to hold off on doing anything with the transmission. I don't know what's going on with the transmission. I put one in there out of a 99 Silverado. And the bracket didn't line up. And once I got it dropped down in the seal properly and re-welded the mounting bracket on, it mounts on the bell housing, the dipstick, it came out of the tube. I got them as a pair out of the junkyard. Will not drop down about 1.5 inches back into the pan. It's like it's hitting the stop too soon inside the pan. Alright, so gonna go get this in, get it bolted up, and show you in the end their housing and all that. Okay, so after about another half hour, nothing can ever be easy for me. Sliced my finger open pretty good. Focus. on a zip tie that I had put there about 3 years ago while I was bolting in that bolt down there in the middle. Right there. Yeah, it holds on the dipstick tube. Works great now. It's a little stiff still, so I might have to get another one still. A little bit of ATF in there. Yes, some people probably think I'm nuts. Some people might agree with me, but ATF is a high detergent. So, yeah, see that? I'm going to have to get another one of them. Yeah, that won't even go back in now. Shit. There we go. I'll have to get another one of those. But, ATF being a high detergent like it is, I mean, if you ever look at the inside of an automatic transmission, it's spotless. It's because they have so many detergents in there, cleans everything out. What it does when you put in motor oil, I have 5 quarts motor oil in there, 1030 Delvac synthetic blend. That's just temporary with the ATF, and then it'll capture all the metal that comes off from the fresh bearings and deposit it in the oil filter. Right now I have a Pure Later Boss on there, and I already changed it once, and I've only run it 10 minutes. The ATF's doing an amazing job at clearing out the metal chips and depositing it. So that came out of the sump. The oil that came out of the filter was spotless. The part after it was, done being filtered. So I got that done. Next, I have to figure out transmission dipstick tube. I'm going to go back to junkyard, get some more, diddle around with them for a while. Make another video on that, maybe. Alright. See you next time.